everyone, it's Shel C from PaperOcotilloStudio, and today I am sharing with you a warm-up that I did this morning in an attempt to get my mojo going for some other stuff that I need to do that's on commission. And I'm just not feeling it, so I decided to get out my favorite activity, which is to make mixed media collage. And I was going with abstract, and then it kind of got a little bit less abstract, but it's definitely still abstracted. It's a flower now, but it was supposed to just be abstract to begin with because I really like to do abstract art. So this is a 5x7 canvas panel, one of the little flat ones. I have a ton of those that I bought for the 100 Days project, which I think I ended up making 80 total pieces of 100. So yeah, I didn't make it through the whole thing, but I did my best. And I decided to just start out with some acrylic paint to get some color going on here. And I was inspired by this weird piece of scrap that I had and its colors. And what I ended up using is light blue violet, light rose, and titanium white, and warm gray. And I just used a silicone brush thingy to brush it onto the canvas, and then I used a stencil that I had laying next to me to wipe through and add a little bit of texture to the acrylic paint by just wiping it away, revealing some of the white canvas underneath. And that one I just put down, not that one, but the one right before, is what started my kind of color. I wanted to have some neutrals. I wanted to have black and white, and then I wanted to have some pastel-ish type colors. Is what started it, was that little weird scrap that happens. So the colors that I pulled out of my pile next to me, not even sorted yet, not even put away, not thrown away. They're little tiny bits, but they have such pretty color on them. I just can't throw them away. And I didn't even have a bin or a cup or anything to put them in. They're just literally laying on the left next to my mat. Still haven't cleaned it up. So I kind of laid everything out with things that I found that went with my original color scheme. I decided I wanted to have some brighter pinks along with the pastels as a contrast, and then some black and gray type colors to sort of mellow everything out. I'm not feeling super bright fluorescent pink today. I'm feeling stressed and just wanted to play without a whole lot of thought. So I'm sticking with my colors of the neutrals, black, gray, white, and then some pinks and blues that are not too crazy. Maybe just a little bit of crazy, you know? So I am using sort of my standard like cruciform type abstract layout that I like. I learned recently that it's called, I guess I knew it was cruciform, but I don't want to say it's a cross, because even though it is, it's not exact. It's not exact cross. It's not exactly an X. It's kind of more of usually a 1/3, 2/3 offset with this, but I do like this linear up and across type formation. I'm really just been obsessed with that lately. In fact, for quite a while, probably since, I don't even know. I do have one piece of paper that I glued down, and I have no idea what's on it, but it's not. It's keeps smearing, so it's smearing black onto my stuff there in the middle, which is bugging me, and I keep wiping it back. I have no idea. I guess it must be watercolor, or maybe it's some type of charcoal. These bits are just around, and I don't track every single little tiny bit of painted paper that I have to make sure that it's sealed, that it doesn't have something on it that's going to smear. Could be Stabilo all, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea why that one little section right there is smearing. It's just weird. But I'm working with it. I guess it adds a little shadow or something. I don't know. I also have this thing that's in the middle there. Um, I had a die cut that I used just the other day. Uh, I don't know. It was recent. You guys probably saw it, but it was vinyl. It was cut from this self-adhesive vinyl with a die. I think it's a Tim Holtz die. And I pulled it apart and I used the vinyl part, the black part, on whatever it was I was making. I don't even know. And then there's a leftover piece, you know, because you peel it, and it's slick, and it that has that part on one side where the sticky stuff peels off of it, but then the other side is just basically paper. So I just glued it down because I like how it looks kind of like drywall tape. It's a die that sort of looks like drywall tape, but it doesn't have perfect holes. I might have used it on that bee, maybe, that I did the other day. That would have been something that would have gone well with the bee, little collage bee that I made. So after I had everything laid down in my real abstract way, I decided no, this, because of the stencil that I had used in the background, which I believe is this month's, could be last month's, Stencil Club stencils. It's 3 stencils with a lot of flowery shapes on it. Because I had used that, it just seemed like it had to have flowers, right? Because it's got this big flower in the background. It's got to have flowers. And besides, it's spring, and flowers are kind of what everyone's doing, and that's what we usually do in the spring. And then, you know, I mean, I definitely think that color theory, color use, and use of forms changes in art with everyone through the seasons. We don't tend to make flowers in the winter, and we don't, you know, we tend to use the cooler colors in the winter. And then I don't know, at least that's me, and I know that I'm not the only one. It really seems to rotate like that. It seems like we're very affected by the seasons in our art. So when Americans are making flowers, perhaps Australians are making, let's see, what would be the opposite? I guess they're making leaves and cornucopias or something. I don't know. So anyway, I still had some scraps here that I could work with. This one little piece over on the right-hand side had what really looked kind of like a leaf on it. And I think it was just a scrap. I think it's completely random. And that was the only green that was on the piece. And I was originally just going to, you know, paint over it with my fingers or whatever. But then I decided I could use it for my composition of this flower on a stem with a leaf. And I brought in some more green, you know, to back that up so that it didn't have just the green in one spot, and that in that way balanced the composition by adding the color throughout instead of just having it in the one spot, which, you know, I had just intended to paint over it. I mostly wanted those gray, elongated oval shapes that are on that paper. And I was not really wanting the green, but it worked out great. Also, I ended up having this linear shape down at the bottom, which looked like a continuation of where the stem would be, that black piece. And so I just kind of highlighted that all the way down with a little bit of this green polka dots paper. Then I'm going to do some finger painting just to kind of blend in some areas and make it a little bit less patchy. Now that it is an actual thing, okay, now we have a flower, then it seemed like some of the background needed to be pushed back and calmed down a little bit, and some of the pieces needed to be blended. So I'm using that same light blue violet to kind of calm down that one big flower. I didn't completely take it out, but I calmed it down towards around the other flower so that the other flower would stand out more. Then I'm also adding back in some of this light rose pink. It's a very pale pink color. And I did add in some brighter pink here and there that you'll see in the finished piece. And it was after I had turned off the camera. And I did use a water-based product for that. This piece is very mixed media. You got acrylic paint, you got stencils, you got collage, you got drawing, illustration, you've got more collage, you've got, you know, more paint. I mean, it's just, and then it has the mixture. Now I'm putting on some water-based product, which is this color brush, Pintel color brush in a gray color, and I'm bringing out the shapes that I had in there that I wanted to highlight. So I'm bringing them out a little bit with this gray. I didn't want to go with black. I wanted to go with gray because I didn't want it to be too stark. And what else did I do? Oh, I added in some white dots here and there with a white acrylic paint pen. And then off the camera, then I added some gold because I did put some tissue paper on the collage. On the very top layer is this tissue paper that has these little gold triangles in it. And it's a scrap that I have on my desk, and I just tore some of it and kind of layered it over the top. When you layer a translucent paper over the top of the other paper, it helps to blend out the edges and just make it not so stark looking. So I had a little bit of gold, and I decided to add some more gold using some gold gesso. And then the last thing I did was to use a King Art pink gel stick, which is again a water-based product, to just add a little bit of highlights of a brighter pink here and there around the flower, and you'll see that in the pictures at the end. So I hope that you've enjoyed this warm-up exercise. It's a short video, and it's just, you know, what I did to warm up to try to work on some other stuff. And I really enjoyed it. I think it's a cute piece, so that's the reason I shared it with you. If you did like it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can leave me a comment or question below if you have any questions. I'm glad to answer. You can subscribe to this channel. I would appreciate it if you subscribed, and that if you turn on that notification bell and subscribe, you'll get a notification of when a new video comes out. And some people really like that feature, so you can turn on that bell. And all those things, of course, help my channel grow by helping other people out in the YouTube universe find me. You know, it's hard to find what you want sometimes. So that's it for me. This one is finished, and I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.